Ballot papers are going out imminently. You can't get him on the ballot, can you?
Well, I mean, it's always good to hope. I mean, what's been interesting about the entire process is that if we go back over the last 2 decades, we know that when Tony Blair resigned, everybody cheered. When David Cameron resigned, people shrugged their shoulders. When Theresa May resigned, there was an intense sigh of relief from most of the population. But when Boris was forced to resign, 14,000 letters were sent by members of the public to CCHQ asking them, what are you doing?
Members of the public or Conservative Party
members of the public wrote, according to The Sun. But then I think what the interesting thing is the spark that was lit by Lord Peter Crudas, because by doing that, he enabled people to say, hang on, this thing was forced on us. We have a prime minister whose flaws were known. A lot of people in the Red Sea.
What, that he was a liar?
No, that he, well, the way that people would have said.
Alex, the majority of the country think the prime minister is a liar.
Well, I think that they will also say that most politicians are liars, if we're honest.
Do you know what? I've never, in my experience, heard that word used as openly and as repeatedly as it is about Johnson.
Let's go back to some of the people who accuse him of lying. For instance, Alistair Campbell goes around calling...
He would not be the role model for this. I would agree.
No, but what I'm saying is that this guy is sitting in a glass house lobbing concrete blocks around. No, I think the reason why this is so important, I think, is because the membership of this organization has completely been bypassed by a small group of people whose interest
members of Parliament who've been selected by your associations. They're representatives of your party.
All of them. He won a vote of no confidence just a few weeks before, and he did relatively well at the local elections. We all know that the actual story in May was not that Boris Johnson was unpopular,
but
it was that Keir Starmer.
Hang on, I think you're missing the point here.
Right.
Even if there are people like you, who are Conservative Party members and activists, who feel very strongly that this has been done badly and it's wrong, and I know you feel it and believe it, here's the point. Over 40% of Conservative members absolutely wanted him to go, and 40% of Conservative voters absolutely wanted him to go. He has lost nearly half his support within less than 3 years of being Prime Minister. Doesn't that tell you there's no way back for him?
Well, let's test it. I mean, the only thing that we're asking is for a vote. I mean, you've been extremely successful at asking for a vote because people and experts were telling you that Europe wasn't an issue.
I know.
Right?
I know. I get that. No, I get that.
I get that. It's very different when you have an actual say. Who are the people who are polling? You know that there is a massive difference between an actual election and an opinion poll. So the only thing that we're asking is simply, could we have a ballot of the membership? Do we think that the Prime Minister should have been treated in this way, and should he resign?
Well, I think it's for the birds. I don't think it's going to happen. If I'm right, and he doesn't get on this ballot, will you in future, at dinners in the Carlson Club or wherever it may be, do the old toast to the king across the water in the sort of, is he going to be the Bonnie Prince Charlie? Will you be wanting him to come back at any opportunity?
But we'll be able to celebrate Lazarus rising from the dead. I mean, there is something romantic and quirky and quixotic about it.
I have to say, I think you're wrong, but I really admire the passion with which you believe this. And I worry, though, with people like you, whether the Conservative Party can ever heal this rift. Alex Tory, thank you
very much.